By 1945, the world was weary of war. World War II had ravaged Europe, Asia, and parts of Africa for 6 long years. Millions had perished in the conflict, victims of combat, disease, and unimaginable atrocities. The Nazi regime in Europe was on the verge of collapse, its armies shattered by the combined might of the Allied forces. In August 1945, the war in Europe had ended, but the Pacific War raged on. Japan, however, continued to fight on in the Pacific, fueled by a potent mix of nationalist ideology and military ambition. Allied forces led by the United States were steadily advancing, island by island, pushing closer to the Japanese mainland. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa had demonstrated the Japanese military's willingness to fight to the death, even when defeat seemed inevitable. It was against this backdrop of impending carnage that a new and terrifying weapon emerged, one that would forever alter the course of human history: the atomic bomb. The decision to use atomic bombs on Japan was not taken lightly. It was the culmination of months of debate and discussion at the highest levels of the U.S. government. President Harry S. Truman and his advisors faced an agonizing dilemma, weighing the potential benefits of using this fearsome new weapon against the enormous moral and ethical implications. Several factors influenced the Truman administration's decision. First and foremost was the desire to end the war quickly and decisively. The American public, weary of war and its mounting casualties, clamored for a swift resolution to the conflict. An invasion of Japan could drag on for months, if not years, and result in hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of casualties. The use of atomic bombs, it was believed, could shock Japan into surrender and avoid the need for a costly invasion. Political considerations also played a role, with the Soviet Union viewed with growing suspicion by many in the West. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m. local time, the world entered the atomic age. A B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, dropped a single atomic bomb codenamed Little Boy over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The bomb detonated with the force of approximately 15,000 tons of TNT, instantly obliterating the city center and unleashing a firestorm. Tens of thousands of people were vaporized in an instant, their shadows etched into the pavement by the blinding flash. Countless others died in the hours and days that followed from burns, radiation sickness, and injuries sustained in the blast. 3 days later, on August 9th, a second atomic bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on the city of Nagasaki. Though less powerful than the Hiroshima bomb, the Nagasaki bomb caused even greater devastation due to the city's hilly terrain. The immediate aftermath of the bombings was characterized by chaos and confusion. Section 4. The Aftermath, Japan, the United States, and a New World Order. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had a profound and lasting impact on Japan, the United States, and the entire world. For Japan, the bombings marked not only a military defeat but also a national trauma of unprecedented scale. On August 15, 1945, just 6 days after the bombing of Nagasaki, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's unconditional surrender to the Allied powers, bringing World War II to an end. The bombings ushered in a new era in international relations, one defined by the awesome power of nuclear weapons and the ever-present threat of nuclear war. The United States, having emerged from the war as the world's dominant military power, assumed the mantle of leadership in this new and uncertain world. The Soviet Union quickly developed its own atomic bomb, setting the stage for a decades-long nuclear arms race between the two superpowers. The use of atomic bombs on Japan demonstrated the willingness of the United States to use all means at its disposal to achieve its objectives. Section 5. A Legacy of Destruction and Debate. Remembering the atomic bombings. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki remain the only use of nuclear weapons in warfare. They serve as a stark reminder of the destructive power of these weapons and the terrible human cost of their use. The bombings continue to be a subject of intense debate and discussion, with historians, ethicists, and policymakers grappling with the complex questions surrounding the decision to use them. The legacy of the bombings is complex and multifaceted. On the one hand, they stand as a symbol of the horrors of war and the urgent need to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. The images of the devastated cities and the suffering of the survivors serve as a powerful reminder of the human cost of conflict. Remembering the bombings and understanding their historical, political, and moral implications is essential for preventing such an event from ever happening again.